I got reused to it and it didn't happen.
Oh. I forgot where it was.
It's funny because like we didn't have it for the longest time and now we've had it, but we haven't had it long enough for me to really get used to it again. The scenario is that there's a viewer on YouTube who really likes the nut button and has been going through the earlier stages of the stream and has been calling it out repeatedly. And so now I'm used to it from their comments. So now
Everybody likes the nut button.
it's a situation. Yeah, everyone likes the nut button. Except for Otis. Chop. Alright! We're gonna play some D&D. I'm swapping music.
I'm not.
Okay. We're gonna kick things off with a little bit of a recap, shall we? Because so much happened last week.
I mean, not wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if I was being sarcastic there or if I was just being ironic. I don't know. A lot did happen, but it was a very encapsulated lot. Previously, in the dungeon of the Mad Mage, within the region of dreams, Dalcor, the party's dreaming consciousnesses were scattered after making the jump from Toral's realm of dreams. But this was not unanticipated. The dreamers and their guide, Amislaria, had warned the party that the dream would likely disperse them on arrival, and that there would be a process where she would need to gather them back together. She had also warned the party that the dream would resist this interference, and that they each must do their best to control their dreams while she corralled them. But dreams have a way of twisting and turning, even in the deftest of hands. Ezra's consciousness floated in darkness, a darkness that slowly brightened. A loud, panicked banging served to awaken his sleeping mind into not quite a memory, but perhaps the recreation of what the event might have been like had he been old enough to remember it. It was the day upon which his father returned from work, panicked, professing to his mother they needed to leave immediately. It was a recreation using the words of Ezra's sister, of the day their lives changed forever, of the storm that tore apart their home, and the loss of their mother and father. But dreams have a way of twisting and turning. For no words recreated the sinister rabbit-headed figure that appeared in the dream, or the butcher's cleavers buried in his parents' backs. Words did, however, recreate the fury of the dream, growing, burgeoning into the horrendous storm. Perhaps the anger in Ezra's heart. A sudden shift to a place of wind and earth, water and fire, and dark lightning streaking across the sky. Suddenly, Ezra embodied the storm, was the lightning, and up around him rose wind and earth and fire. Hurtling out of the darkness came dozens of those rabbit-headed figures, screaming about containing the elementals. Amislaria broke through to Ezra's mind, shouting for him to resist, to fight against the creatures, to not let himself be destroyed, and a horrific battle began. Crushed, shattered, charred, burned bodies littered the ground, but still the rabbit heads kept coming. Fire was quenched. Stone was sundered. An overwhelming chorus of chittering voices calling for Ezra's downfall, to see wind caged and lightning chained. And then suddenly, an incomprehensibly large creature loomed in the darkness, illuminated by dark arcs of electricity. screaming as would an angry mother to her child. Dozens of rabbit heads exploded. And Ezrah, feeling as if someone had plunged a hand into his chest, was ripped away from the place. From the anger, fear, the trauma.
And nearly dying!
It took a shit ton of true damage, which was based on the remaining number of rabbits, if you were not aware.
I was aware.
For a time, for a time, Amislaria just whispered that she had him, that they were moving, that they were looking for his friends. And then, that they had found one. The one that smelled like a dog.
Spoilers, it's actually Bones.
It's actually Bones. Yeah, totally Bones. And that is where we fade into our scene. Before we actually jump into this next portion of our story, we do have a teeny tiny bit of housekeeping. Ashes, Bones.
Hello.
You both lose 2 hit dice.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Because they were knocked unconscious?
Dream
Oh
will be fucking-
shit. Oh shit. There is actually a consequence to getting fucked in someone else's dream. Very cool.
Damn,
So-
do you mean there's an incentive not to protect the dreamer?
Hey,
What?
you do you,
Is that
fam.
really what you're taking out of that?
That is what I'm taking out of it, yeah. Not that that's what I was doing, but yes, that's what I'm taking out
Your
of it.
dream is still coming up. You might want to reconsider spreading that idea to everyone else.
I'm not going to reconsider it yet.
Oh, God. Okay. That is the housekeeping I needed to take care of. Let us move forward, shall we? You know what? Before we do anything else, I'm going to swap to this.
Not this.
I'm
this.
I'm swapping cameras, so I'm expecting it to crash repeatedly. Yep, there's
Don't
crash
do
1.
this.
Streamlabs, why do you hate me? There was a solid like 2 weeks where it didn't crash at all, by the way.
Mm.
I don't know. Don't know the changes. The changes in the life that I lead. Alright. That might be fixed now. Okay. Music.
The movement.
And darkness.
Jesus, what the fuck is this?
It's a loading
What?
screen.
The music.
Oh.
You
Very
hear like the
environmental.
dogs growling in the background and
I do not.
I generally have, since I go headsetless, I usually keep my volume pretty low so it doesn't pick up.
You fool!
I'll pull
there
it up.
seems like dogs fighting in the distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ashes. You are in darkness all around you. Your eyes see nothing, but you are not unaware of your surroundings. Your nose paints you a picture. Streets, filthy, refuse-ridden. Not like the majority of the main streets in Elturel. You are from the back alleys. Outcast, orphaned, alone. Just trying to survive. and unfortunately not doing a very good job of it. You hear sounds of the city that actually exists, that actually has a purpose, on the streets outside of the alleys haunt. You're dying of starvation. And probably of infection. There are a number of little wounds and sores across your body that an urchin just can't really afford to heal. Even in a place like Elturel, where you can typically head to most of the temples and actually have things like that done for you, it's hard to do that when you're on all the other urchins' shit lists, or just pray for any of the seedier types in town. Your consciousness is your own. In this moment, much like a dream, you're witnessing events or perceiving events, these sounds and smells from your past, but you do not have the mind of a child. You have your own mind. You know your purpose. Your body lies in the Temple of the Saladrin. You have drank deep of a liquid designed to put you into a intense slumber. And in theory, you will be ushered somewhere by a guide.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's just darkness. You hear a voice. Oh, lad. What have you gotten yourself into? Come on now. Let me get you somewhere safe. A memory? Maybe? Maybe not. Dreams often recreate what the mind wishes things were as memories. The sounds change. Boisterous laughter and talking, shouting. There's warmth here, but there's also this odd feeling of chill on the periphery. You smell too much, and you realize it doesn't match up, because you can place this one of your first times arriving at the encampment of the Order of Sharp Teeth. But you wouldn't have smelled all these smells at that point in time. You didn't have the sense of perception that you do now. But you got there eventually. Just took you some time. Some time being years of
Yep.
pretty grueling study and training, physical training, chores. God, the chores.
Oh, yeah.
There's a surprising amount of non-combatants in the encampment of the Order of Sharp Teeth, even for individuals like those of the Order who are generally self-sufficient. In order to run a place even of that size, which isn't some large city, there's still husbands and wives that don't do the fighting. There's still bakers and craftsmen. There's children. Quite a few children, actually. Whether they're actually somebody's child or a ward or an orphan or a hopeful training to be a part of the order. You grew up knowing, or at least this part of your youth, knowing a surprising amount of other youths. A surprising amount of them aren't with the living anymore. Not typically from the orders training or anything, although there are dangerous aspects that do occasionally lead to unfortunate, unexpected deaths. But typically it's the lifestyle afterwards, or the enemies that are made by the order and the vengeance exacted upon the people associated with it. Preemptive strikes, counterattacks. Your mind considers these things. Light finds your eyes. Sounds and smells. Chill night air. And a place. A place that is very much a memory of a very particular night. Night when a blood-red moon hung over the Wood of Sharp Teeth. A night where the Order as a whole, which is something very rare, gave battle against another faction. A man, not known by many at his height of power, but known at the point of this memory to be afflicted with lycanthrope. A Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate. Valarkin. Once made a bid to overthrow the other Grand Dukes of the city. That failed. That was repulsed by a number of other individuals, heroes. But his allies were, I wouldn't say many, but there were enough of them. And one particular group was a group of Lycans. Your memory is not perfect, but something red hand, perhaps? Maybe something different, though. Either way, that particular information is not the focus of this particular. Valarkin escaped with his allies to the Wood of Sharp Teeth. And there, well, it's a long story, but he made trouble. Trouble in the sort that the Order cannot allow. Trouble in the sort of the way that people who get a little headstrong with lycanthropy make trouble. The idea that they'll do something and rule the world, or the countryside at least.
Yeah.
Valarkin moved into the ruins of Old Velar, an ancient elven city. Well, elven. Actually, That might be incorrect. Don't quote me on that. An ancient city within the Wood of Sharp Teeth that the Order somewhat watches over. Because the city has a old legacy with lycanthropy. And it is this memory, this night, this blood-red moon within the Wood of Sharp Teeth, this event in which the Order gave battle to Valarkin's forces to push this Grand Duke out of Old Velar, out of the Wood of Sharp Teeth, to prevent him from enacting his plan, whatever that plan may be. This is the night of technically your first mission as a young blood hunter. Not really true, because you've technically gone on other missions chaperoned by actual full-fledged blood hunters. But this time, you will not be chaperoned.
So we get to pop his cherry.
You may try.
Oh, baby.
This time, you remember, you weren't actually a leader, technically. There was no leader amongst your group. But you and 3 other young blood hunters were part of periphery forces, meant to hold the outer edge in case any stragglers broke through, fleeing from the battle, to make certain that none of Valarkin's allies escaped. Make certain none of them spread the curse with their heedless actions. Trying to think of how I want to say this. I guess we'll just jump into things. Ashes, you're staring now, being able to see, able to hear, able to smell, all of your senses return to you. You're staring up at this blood-red moon, and you hear a voice in your mind. You hear this elven voice. Hey, you okay, pup?
Amneslaria? Is that you?
The different voice that you recognize.
Oh.
It's the one guy.
Am
is it
has followed you into your dreams. No, it's Zalara.
Okay.
You hear her kind of like gruff, sarcastic voice in your head.
Is it really you? Like, are you just like a dream version that I'm concocting while you're here?
I think I kind of got yoinked with the whole ritual scenario. I'm not here, but I'm still
I
in
reach
your
for my
head.
back. I like
Reach on your back.
yeah.
You grab a hilt. It is not
I
Zalara's hilt, but it is a hilt
Oh.
you are very familiar with.
Quicksilver.
It is.
Okay.
A second voice comes into your head. Hey, why do you smell like a dog?
Heard of lycanthropy?
Okay, well that answers that.
Right. What's happening? Where are we? This is not what I was expecting. Where's
in
everyone?
your dream, calm down. I'm collecting everyone. I've got Ezrah. That was
Ezrah, you there?
Well, I have to be careful. Pulling one consciousness into another's consciousness can be a little disturbing. So here. Ezrah, say something.
Are you okay?
Uncertain.
All right, that's all you get. Because again, I don't want to like make the dream mad. But
The dream has feelings.
the dream can get testy depending on how it doesn't like to be messed with.
Yes, the dream has feelings. Got it. Okay, how do I not piss it off?
Well, that's very unlikely with what we're gonna do. Just giving you a heads up. But
Okay.
what is a generally good practice is to keep your wits about you and stay emotionally strong and ready. Ready?
Right. Okay.
And above all, do not let your dream self die.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the end of everything, but it gets pretty bad. So, just,
well,
you know,
the fact that I've got Zalara with me, I think that's going to be a big help. So
that's good. Who's Solara? He has people with him.
it's I. How do I say this without sounding crazy?
Well, I already know you're a werewolf.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a little bit more believable than I have a sentient sword.
What's
that
strange
is,
about that?
Okay, her name's Laura.
It's crazy.
And I wasn't sure she would make it with us, but she seems like she did.
Well, it
So-
definitely wasn't intentional, so, you know, happy accident, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. Glad to have her.
You know, maybe next time you're trying to be dreamed into a place and you have other entities, you could be like, hey, I've got this other entity with me. You know,
Right. I wasn't. Yeah. Probably should have. Yeah. Didn't think about that. That's my bad. That's on me.
it's fine. It's fine. I don't want to upset you. Calm down.
No, What? I'm calm. I'm perfectly calm. Why do you think I'm not calm? Do you think I'm not calm?
I don't. I don't. Are you playing with me?
Yes, I'm playing with you. I'm fine.
You hear a voice behind you. Not in your mind. You know, I heard a rumor there's a magic circle in Old Velar that, you know, it like takes you to a hidden city by the light of the blood moon. You hear a second voice. And that's all it is, Gene. A rumor. The first.
Fucking Gene.
Relax, Clara. I'm just talking. Hey, right, Oscar? A third voice. What you're doing is running your mouth rather than listening. Wait. Ashes. You smell that? You
I
hear...
guess. Oh God, is that what I sound like for real?
Fucking destroyed me. I'm Slade. You hear the voices of your companions behind you. Clara, Ringabel, Jean Redgraves, and Oscar Magellan. Other blood hunters, other lycanthropes, young like you. New-ish members to the order. Technically not quite blood hunters. It depends, right? If you were anywhere else, you'd be badass adventurers, probably. But at the Order, they do things differently. The Order, you're held to a bit of a higher standard. Well, some people are held to a bit of a higher standard. Regardless, as Oscar asks his question, your nostrils involuntarily kind of react to the memory. Because you know you do smell something. Or at least you did. The very familiar smell. Smell much like your own. You, Clara, Oscar, and Jean are positioned very specifically within this portion of the Wood of Sharp Teeth. You're on a low gulch, gully kind of scenario. In the heavy rains, the area before you floods, and a small kind of stream will wash debris and refuse downwards further into the wood. You've been positioned very specifically at the only exit within miles of this location. If anyone comes from the direction of Old Velar to this place, they'll be coming with the intention of going through this pass. That wasn't supposed to happen. You weren't supposed to fight anyone. But you smell the figures approaching. You smell people like yourself. Because when Amislaria was jokingly talking about how you smell a little like a dog, there is a specific scent that comes with each different wear. Obviously, you have your own smell, but your smell is mixed with the overall scent of what it is to be a werewolf. And there are multiple werewolves approaching. In the memory, in what really happened, you answered. You responded to Oscar. And in a moment later, your uninvited guests arrived. What do you do in this moment?
All right. It's going to be like a question that you might have to make up on the spot. In real life, at present time, are these three still alive?
I think that
Would
that
you even know?
Or
is a
like,
very
to the
good
best of my
question.
knowledge?
I think that the last you knew, Clara lived. Oscar lived. And the silver dagger that you gave to the party when you first met them used to be Jean's.
And knowing that, and knowing it's a dream, but still being able to interact with Jean one last time like this, he knows it's not real. So there's that, but he can't help but like smell the shit that's coming from behind, but can't stop staring at, Jean. But like once that shit gets close enough to know it's gonna be a threat, and I know I'm not supposed to die here in the dream. I'll whip around, pull out Quicksilver, and immediately transform.
You do that?
And I'll say not this time.
Not today.
Whether
Bro,
responding
do you do
to
that, Phil?
your
Hey, Bobby.
whether responding to your alteration of the memory, or whether this is actually what happened in real life, your transformation sparks an immediate reaction in your three companions, and each of them immediately shifts as well. Weapons drawn, flesh to fur, and all four of you stand in your lichen forms as out of the darkness. Actually, let's do this. We'll do a full fun reveal. Out of the darkness.
Love fun reveals.
Out of the darkness.
I actually prefer my reveals to be no fun at all.
No fun at all? Yeah. Unfun reveals.
Damn, who got the rat?
We don't know yet. Out of the darkness come 3 werewolves. And behind them, an immense, towering man in the skin of a polar bear, dark flashes of teal marking his upper torso, a runic tattoo that bears with him even when he shifts.
So it's Volabear. You brought Volabear.
Yes, you brought yes, it's Volabear.
So badass, his token cannot contain his art.
There is only one bear of this description within the enemy forces that you are aware of. And you know the memory anyways. Because this is the night you and your friends tried and failed to prevent the Grand Duke Valarkin from escaping. This is the night that your friend Jean died. And we're going to see how that fucking turns out. So I need Ezrah, Bones, and Matashtai to roll d20s. Highest picks first.
Okay.
Lowest is a rat.
Might not. Someone might pick the red.
I want to be a tiger.
Here's the thing. We know invariably Mitch is going to pick what he thinks is the coolest, and it's going to be the
It's
worst.
gonna suck.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be-
gonna pick the tiger.
disappointed
I'm gonna
by
pick the
it,
tiger, and he's gonna actually be declawed.
All right.
His hands are backwards.
Are
'cause
you
he's
picking?
a
Are you picking the tiger?
crocodile.
Yeah, I'm
Rakshasa.
gonna go tiger.
All right, tiger. The tiger is Clara Ringabel, the were-tiger. Into the players, into Matashtai, save changes. Bones, you're up next. Who do you want?
What are the choices? I see a rat and a pig.
Or
Rat and a boar. Yep.
I
Oscar
wanna
Magellan,
be-
the boar man, or Gene Redgraves, the rat man.
I want to be Oscar.
Ezra gets the role of sacrifice.
Doomed to die.
honestly, of the three, once I learned who is who, the tiger was the lowest one on my list. So
There you go. Okay. Oscar and Ezra.
Jeremy, I don't have the
is-
character sheet yet.
Ah.
Jeremy, what's going on?
There it goes. All right, everyone, please inspect your characters, because it's important that you know what they can do.
Question:
Yes.
do I have a special dream sheet, or am I just using my normal sheet?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Here we go
He
with.
gets 13th level ashes.
Oh, yeah. Give me 13th level.
Here we go with young ashes.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Yeah, just say
There
young
we
ashes.
go. He's a
Oh.
baby boy.
That's not as great.
What are you talking about?
That is not level 13.
He's wonderful. He's got all the things you started this campaign with.
Oh really?
This
Wow,
is
yeah.
actually pretty close to what you started the campaign with, basically. All right. Again, please review your character sheets because each of you has important things potentially that you have access to.
Beep bop.
Ashes. You hear in your mind. Ah, great. What is with? Why are all of you so violent? Is every dream gonna turn into bloodshed? Is that what's gonna happen here?
I think about
Yeah,
ashes,
probably.
or I think about bones, and then I think about Matt, and I'm like, yeah, probably.
Damn it!
If Ezra's was violent, we're probably screwed.
Yeah.
You hear her curse. You hear Amislaria curse in your mind, and she says, "All right, well, my earlier stipulations count. Don't die, and try not to get too emotional. You know."
If memory serves correctly, this does not end well. So,
Well, if it's a memory, you know what's gonna happen. Make it better this time.
Yeah,
I'll
make it
look
better.
back to Gene and I'll be like, yeah, all right.
Okay. Everyone, please select your tokens and roll for initiative.
It's me, Oscar Magellan. We're gonna see the world. Oscar
Gonna see the
Magellan.
world. All right, let me
Oscar
change.
Magellan.
Do you guys think
Crashing again.
I'm the one on the right. Hey, do you guys think that when you adopt someone or something that they don't get to have their old last names?
I think they get the.
Think
No, I think that's part
it's
of the
a combination of your choice and their choice, I think.
Well, PX doesn't have a choice. He adheres to my choice.
Didn't we have this
Well,
discussion where
You seem kind of like a dictator.
Well,
dictator.
so I want to name him his full official name, obviously. Professor Charles Xavier Matthew Hernandez Lopez Hastings Hughes.
yes.
a lot of names.
So he has his heritage, obviously.
Which is
I
wonderful.
also am considering making him Professor Charles Xavier Brian Matthew Hernandez Lopez Hastings Hughes.
What?
I don't know. I just like Brian Matthew as a middle name. I think it's funny.
So it's like the multitude of names, like the bit.
What do you mean bit? There's not a bit. This is his life.
Yes, Jay, that's the bit.
Okay.
Come here.
Don't let
Come
him let him fucking gaslight you. Yes,
There's
that's
not
the
a bit. It's his wife. Look at him.
One name for every pound.
All right.
He had
Are
52
every
pounds.
exposed
52 names.
These lycanthropic targets of the order, these enemies of the order, these enemies of really decent folk of any good thing, rush into this little gulch, and you see them, you see them smell you, right? Like there is recognition on the air. There's recognition between each of you. The blood moon that hangs high in the night sky here has created this kind of like dark silhouette, this kind of like weird suffusion of strange light. Also, it's a dream, so it's kind of just what it is, you know? And There's some sort of like exchange between the three of them, or the four of them, and two of them look back at Valarkin, and he just kind of like grunts and nods towards you all, and then those three werewolves begin to crouch low, and it's very clear that they're going to come for you. Ashes, you have instinctively in this moment a little bit of a conflicting, a little bit of a conflict in your mind, right? You know what happened. What happened was that you and your comrades stood against these enemies. And it wasn't a slaughter, it wasn't a massacre. You were a match for the werewolves. You were a match for them. But you just weren't a match for Valarkin. And in the end, you could not keep him from escaping without risking more lives. And after losing Jean, it wasn't a decision that any of you remaining could make. You have this conflict in your mind, or maybe it's not a conflict, it's up to you, right? But there is an obviously like duality here in your mind of this is an opportunity for no one to die, and or this is an opportunity for you to succeed this time, for Valarkin not to escape. What? I'm gonna give Ashes the option here, because this is your dream. What does Ashes care about more? Keeping all of his friends alive in this dream? Preventing Valarkin and his allies from escaping? Or do you want to be greedy and go for both?
There is, I would say, like, legitimately, there is a sense of like duty and honor that he can't just turn and run. That's not an option. So I think at least for this dream,
I think also, right, it would be clear to you that Amos, you can't leave. Amos Laria needs you here in the dream. She needs time to be able to bind you and take you further into Dalcor. So you can't, leaving the dream would mean abandoning your quest with Matashtai.
Gaming like kiting, just kiting around.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Fair enough.
Like, but nah, and also we're playing D&D and it's a fight, you know.
Look, it's your dream. If you try to convince your allies to stand aside and just let these wares escape, that's your dream.
That also just doesn't sound fun. So
you do you.
All right. We fight.
Well, okay, so again, for clarity, I'm kind of putting this out here like almost kind of like a Fire Emblem like objective, or like a strategy game objective, right? Like you pop onto the map and it's
you're
like
setting your own.
You are in control of this dream. You are setting your own win condition here, right? Like, is it keep your allies alive? Is it prevent Valarkin from escaping? Or is it both? Are you going greedy?
I think I'm going greedy.
You're going greedy?
I'm going for the greed.
You want to go both?
He
I want
greed.
to go both.
He wants a do-over.
Hard mode. Let's go.
I like that. I like that statement, Jake, because I like that potential mindset for Ashes in this moment, knowing that in real life he failed twice, right? Because Valarkin did escape and he lost a friend, right? at least if one of those two had not happened, then at least in real life, it could be a partial win, right? But it was a total loss, right? You lost a friend and Valarkin escaped. And now in your dream, you have a chance for it to be the opposite. You have a chance for everyone to survive and to prevent Valarkin and his allies from escaping. Ashes, in your mind, you think of your objective. That objective solidifies into a real game mechanic. And I need you
the
at
wipe of the conditions.
conditions. You can press the right or left bumper to pull up the conditions menu.
15 turns have passed.
Ashes, I need you to roll me a mental saving throw in order to control the dream. So you get to pick which mental statistic you are relying on. As the dream tries to force things upon you, you are resisting and trying to push back against it. What do you want to use?
I choose strength.
I think we should all roll charisma.
No.
I think charisma is the roll everyone should do.
No strength.
I choose strength.
Which of the mental statistics would you like to roll a saving throw for?
Definitely not charisma. Let's go with intelligence and wisdom are the same thing, but let's just go with intelligence.
Okay. Before you roll, your DC is the same as Ezra's DC, right? So
is it a check or a save? I know you said
it is
that
a
last week.
saving throw because
I choose
forces are
wisdom.
being exerted on you, and you are exerting forces back. So it is in this particular case a saving throw. So your DC is a 20 to just neutralize the dream. Okay?
Okay.
25 is a success in bending the dream to your will, right? 30 or above is a critical success, or rolling an actual critical success as a critical success.
I don't think
okay?
I can hit 30.
If you get below a 20, from 19 to 15, right, is a my brain just stopped.
Minor failure.
Minor failure. Anything below that is a critical failure. Do not want below a 15.
Okay, cool.
Please roll.
Incoming 14. 16.
Minor failure. Okay. You hear. I say you hear, but you smell before anything else. And your allies kind of react to this too, because each of them kind of like has that same kind of like similar scenario that you do, right? You smell this hostile anticipation, right? Like you look across the gulch and you see these werewolves. They aren't wounded at all. They have not been in battle, and it almost has this. They have this air of like being frustrated and angry that they have had to retreat, that they have not been in the thick of things, right? Oop. And
by the way, I just to clarify, did you want me to roll with young ashes or ashes?
I wanted you to roll with ashes.
That was young.
Okay, roll with.
I will take.
Okay, well, we can take the 12. What's your bonus with wisdom? Or actually, now that I say this, right, like, knowing that it's with ashes, does that change what you would pick?
No.
Okay, then what's your bonus?
With your Helm of Intellect that gives you an 18?
My Helm of Intellect puts my int at 19.
But don't you also have proficiency in wisdom saving throws and not in intelligence?
I do have. Yeah.
The question is which
+6.
Which saving throw is higher is the question.
Yeah, it's gonna still be wisdom.
And what is the bonus?
My bonus to wisdom.
What's your wisdom saving throw?
My wisdom saving throw is 6.
6. So it would still be a failure.
2 would be an 18.
Yeah, it would still be a failure. But in the future, roll with current
I
ashes
will roll
statistics.
with adult ashes.
You smell this hostile intent kind of like coming off of them, right? Like finally they get to unleash on something, and it just so happens to be these youngsters in front of them, and they don't care. They're going to attempt to rip you to shreds. Your minor lack of control against the dream, you hear Amislaria kind of curse in your head, and she says, "Not off to a good start." Each of the enemies increases their initiative by +2. Which is really only going to matter in the case of one particular enemy that is now slightly faster than 2 of you. Actually.
Me?
Oscar, what's your fucking dexterity?
You
+0, 10.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure? Yeah, okay. So that actually mattered for 2 of them. Now this werewolf is faster than Oscar. Okay.
Oh well, it is what it is.
Let us jump into things, and we're gonna kick over here and do some music real quick. Music change. All right, top of the turn order. Gene Redgraves. Gene is a nice young fellow who likes to play games and has a little bit of a reputation for maybe being a slacker, but not quite a slacker. He does what he needs to do. He just doesn't really go above and beyond. But he is a very good fellow, very friendly fellow, and very quick on his feet. Gene is a rat folk. Not rat folk. He's a ratware, were rat. And Ezra, what do you want to do with Gene?
I feel very called out with your description of Gene.
Do you?
Point of inquiry. We are on a map that has the exposition of like a haunted forest,
Sure.
foliage cover.
Uh-huh.
In my maybe more roguish nature, do I feel like there's some semblance of cover?
Oh yeah. Every
As
single one of
okay.
these trees, there's little divots in the ground where like water kind of collects. There's plenty of shit to where if you ran to a plausible location and attempted to hide, you absolutely could try to hide. Now, you are up against people who rely on smell just as much as they do sight, so whether you can hide or not may be a different matter. But is it an option? Yes, absolutely.
Alright, I am going to bonus action right myself.
Also, I didn't
Why is my
consider
sheet
this.
changing? Why is my sheet moving on me?
Because I didn't consider this, so I need to go actually correct what your stealth would be. Because it wouldn't be a +4, it would be a +7. So I'm helping you in case you decide to do that.
Okay.
Because oftentimes when I make these sheets, I don't make them with the idea that skills are going to be used.
I also just point of inquiry because I noticed it wasn't there. Just from a rogue's standpoint, they would potentially have the ability to do things like disengaging and hiding.
Gene
as a
does
bonus
not.
action.
No.
Okay.
Gene does not
Okay.
have that.
Just double checking.
Yep.
Just double checking because it'd be real baller if I could.
It would be, but Gene does not have that. Gene is technically not a rogue. He just has some strange rogue subsets.
He's got some roguish tendencies.
Yes,
he's
exactly.
kind of testing the waters,
Mhm.
you know. Maybe a little class curious.
Well, maybe. Yeah, that's a good statement.
So I am going to go ahead and write. I assume my hemocratic die. I don't see. Oh,
it's
I do. Never mind.
1d6.
Yeah,
just 1d6.
it's
It was
there's
more
an action for
okay.
it.
Yeah.
I just was looking in the wrong spot. So I take 3 damage to right of the storm myself,
Ooh. Oh,
which
wow.
looks like is necrotic damage.
What? No, it should be right of the storm should be yeah, that's just incorrect. Ignore all of my inaccuracies, my man.
Hey, you told me to study the sheet, and I studied the sheet.
Pretty sure, Jay, right? Is right of the storm lightning or is it thunder?
Isn't that one thunder? Isn't that
Storm
the one
is
you always
thunder.
use?
Storm is thunder. All right, it's.
I mean,
thunder
I can
damage.
make the change, Jeremy. You can just.
Nope, I'm already in there.
You already know how OCD I am about this
Get out of my
stuff.
life.
You know how CDO I am.
All right, I'll let you do it.
You're good. So now I've got thunder damage on my short sword.
Oh, okay. On the short sword, gotcha.
No, scratch that. Sorry, silvered. I'm gonna do it on the dagger because silvered, and
On
you
the
know.
silver dagger.
Yep.
Does Bone still have that silver dagger?
I sure do.
I think it's in his bag of holding.
It's the only metal thing I carry.
With
Yep.
which to stab ashes, just in
Wow.
case.
Like when you got that, I don't think at that time we knew we knew you weren't like into metal, but I don't know if we knew
I
it.
think it was actually a
add
statement that
extent.
was made. I think Bones was
Yeah.
like, I normally wouldn't use this, but I'll hold it because of this situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
And I'm gonna kind of, as I'm running past the group, I'm just gonna be excited. We got this, guys. He's here. We can do this.
Oh, I'm really gonna feel bad when I kill you. Oh,
And I'm gonna hold my action. If one of them comes within range, I'm gonna
okay.
penetrate them fully with my silver
Are
dagger.
you trying to hide? Okay.
Nope.
Gotcha.
Nope. I have used my action, my bonus action, and my movement. So
Gotcha.
unless
Sounds
you're
like
going to give me a free
Nope.
extra action,
Absolutely not.
I am not.
All right, we've
I
got
figured
this.
with the Rite of the Storm shocking with lightning or whatever might stand out regardless. So
This guy goes, oh, I smell rats. And he's gonna start loping forward. These guys are, you know, not an unproficient warriors though.
Damn.
He lopes forward. You see, these werewolves do not wield weapons. They just have their bare like bodies, right? Like they have like torn, shredded clothes on them from their transformations, but they're just bare-chested, arms extended out, massive talons, kind of like growing out of their fingers. Extended, kind of like maws, overly extended, right? Like the scenario of like not how an actual wolf's muzzle would be, but like even longer, even larger, right? Even more teeth. The horror story version of a werewolf. And this guy just runs forward, and that's it. Ashes, you're up.
Okay. This is before I use the globals, so fuck.
Yes, it was.
So I am going to also write up, and I had at this time just what was it?
It should be on your sheet. I think it's
Hold on, what is that?
the Crimson Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I
don't
didn't
have
pick
what-
for you.
I think it was a fire. I think
I think it was fire. Yeah, that's my bad.
So, and I will apply that to Quicksilver.
Okay.
And cool. Almost max damage.
5 damage immediately. As you reach into yourself, and you kind of like
I'm
reach
stunned.
down,
Sorry,
score your arm with blood. You see the blood streak across Quicksilver and begin to roil with flame. Everyone sees this blood red.
I didn't have fire. It was thunder.
Oh.
It's storm.
There you
It's
go.
the same one.
You see
Yeah.
this blood red beam of moonlight shine down onto ashes. That damage is reduced down to 2.
Okay.
And you hear in your mind, you hear Zalara's voice, right? You hear this kind of like strain, and you hear, I'm gonna do what I can to help. Just try not to get your ass kicked, okay?
Thank you. And I'm gonna immediately square up.
You rush forward, Quicksilver out at the ready. And this werewolf, who's kind of like leaning forward, as soon as you step next to him, he rears back and jumps in and starts swiping at you with his held action.
Yep.
So he is going to make he's gonna jump forward, and just snap at you, with his elongated maw. That's a bite. 24 damage.
24?
No, sorry, it's not 24 damage. It's a 24 to hit you. I apologize.
24 to hit. 24 does hit.
That
And
is
piercing.
8 piercing damage. This is not a magical weapon. This is
Then I take 4.
just a werewolf's teeth. You don't take 4. You see another beacon of light shine down. You take 2 damage.
Oh. Cool. It is taken.
What did I just say?
Alright, sorry. My bad.
Okay, what are you doing?
Literally just told.
Okay.
Immediately, just says it, immediately gets hit.
And, well, alright, I move in, and then I'll use my action to attack.
Okay.
Does a 10 hit?
A 10 does not. This guy leaps forward, snaps his arms, kind of his maw around your kind of like forearm. You pull away, try to slash down him. He dodges to the side. This guy's quit.
And I will swing again. How about a 23?
A 23 will do it, though. Hot diggity damn.
Okay. So that is not including the 2. Actually, that should be +2 on both of those hits because I don't have the globals on, so it's so that should be 11, or is it? God, I can't remember if it's at 5. It's either at +1 or +2 to the slashing damage.
The globals on?
With a global, it will.
Would the global be
I was
in
gonna say-
effect at this point in
Yeah, I
Ash's
was gonna say,
life?
do you have the globals at this point?
I didn't on this sheet. I do not.
But no, when
do
you
they-
were this old, did you have whatever gave you those
Well,
globals?
at level 5, I had those things.
From what?
From hybrid transformation. But
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
I'm
entirely possible.
Feral
No.
Might. It's a +1 to
To your melee damage
rolls.
rolls. Gotcha.
Yep.
That's a
Yeah.
+1.
Okay. So yeah, it's just
There you go.
+1 to melee damage. So that is 11 damage,
Gotcha.
assuming these guys are weak to silver.
They absolutely are.
Oh
Wow,
shit!
Jeremy,
I
you-
forgot
you-
to roll the thunder damage because I don't have globals.
Okay.
Wow, Jeremy, you didn't predict all of this other extra stuff for
it's just by
Ashes?
that here, and here's another 3
Ah!
thunder damage.
I pressed a button. Yatta! There we go. Okay, yeah. Dodges out of the way of your first strike, right? You slash down, trying to like cut him off of your arm. Let's go, dodges away, and then you follow to the side. He leaps back, but you score across his chest, and it just kind of like runs blood down the front of him. Hurt, but still plenty to go.
All right, in turn, and it won't be that complicated moving forward. I know what I'm doing.
What's the plan? Okay. Clara is up next.
I slash my forearms and bleed all over my bow
All
and
these
ignite
fucking
the blood in flames.
goddamn cutters. I swear. Holy
I will
shit.
say with arrows, you have to do that for every shot.
It says weapon.
It says weapon. Doesn't
That's
it?
it.
Does say weapon.
That might have been changed.
I think that was in the original Blood Hunter.
Yeah,
yes,
that
but
was
I think
original, and I
that's
just
since been
never fucking
changed.
bothered.
Yeah, because that's absurd.
So
Yeah.
now I have flame bow. And
You have
then
flame bow.
I'm gonna try and climb up these rocks, however high I can get.
Okay. Clara has a climb speed, doesn't she?
Doesn't say
remember.
so I have no idea.
It
But
doesn't
I'm
have
a
a climb
tiger.
speed. You are a tiger. You can do tigery things. Roll me a.
In my experience, cats have climb speeds.
Where tigers have climb speeds?
Do you cease to be a cat when you become aware?
No, I think the point is you aren't a cat prior to being aware. So you don't gain new climb speeds, I guess.
Why not? Why not, Jeremy?
I didn't make the were-tiger, y'all. I don't know why you're asking me.
But
Oh,
I
like
thought he
Jeremy
was a
Pickle
were
was.
Rakshasa.
Goodness gracious. Gosh golly gee whiz.
He's got the backward hands and everything.
Y'all are gonna make me
This not
start.
shoot my bow.
He's just trying to shoot his bow. Yeah, I think it's gonna be perfectly fine. Like, I'm not gonna overrule your scenario. You climb up the damn thing.
I climb up the rock,
You climb up the
and
rock.
then
You done.
I knock a silvered arrow,
Silvered arrow.
and I fire a silvered arrow
All right,
at
you got
Not
the
cheap.
volibear.
you gotta keep count of those sons of bitches.
Yep. 1.
21. Holy shite balls. Nice.
I assume that hits volibear.
That does hit Volibear.
Bam.
Wonderful.
I don't
make
know
sure
what
you-
silver. I don't know what silver does. So
Silver is 1d6 if they're weak, and it's also 1d6 for the right.
Silver is not 1d6
Oh.
if they're weak.
No.
Silver was
That
just
is
double.
only Quicksilver. Silver
Oh, that's
just means
okay.
yeah. Silver just
Silver just means
My bad.
negates the
it
resistance.
does normal damage. Yeah, like werewolves are weak to silver, which means that they take regular damage.
Okay.
So please
9
also
damage.
please oh there it is. Yes. 9 damage. Wonderful. You
Then
see
I loose another. Oh,
You see Valarkin across the way. The arrow, you climb up onto this cliffside, right? Draw your longbow, knock this flaming arrow, poof, shoot it over the heads of your allies, over the heads of the werewolves, through the tree line, and you see Valarkin standing like a head and a half over the werewolves in front of him, looks at you as you're climbing up, looks at you as you're knocking the arrow, looks at you as you're firing, doesn't move, and as the arrow goes towards his chest, you see him kind of flex and shout. And he is going to use his stone's endurance. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
fucked up.
And he takes
What?
none of that damage. You see it.
He really
The
gained
arrow
health from me shooting him.
shatters off of some sort of like reverberation or some sort of like armor that he puts up in front of him.
Fuck you.
Round 2. A 15 streaks across, and this time the second shot he moves to the side of it and it sinks into a tree behind him.
I'll allow it.
I also
So he's a Goliath, Jeremy, huh?
allow it.
He
It says
does
werebear.
he does things.
Stone's
That's the end of my
endurance is
turn.
a Goliath ability.
All right.
Yeah,
That
it
is
says werebear.
2 silver arrows down, right?
No.
Yep.
How many do you
That
have?
second one was not silver, and I didn't say it was silver.
Wow.
Until it hits.
You know what? You know what?
I mean, if he wants to play that game,
I'll give you
if
that.
he wants to play that
If you,
game,
yeah, if you wanna play like that, I'll give you that one.
No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
All right, fair enough. All right, this guy is gonna rush forward. He can only get so far. He actually will though use his action to dash up, loping across the ground up towards Ashes, and obviously is going to try to flank or give people the opportunity to flank Ashes. And then it is Oscar's turn.
All right. All right.
All right.
Oscar.
First I don't know, fucking cut myself on a sharp part of my hammer. I don't know. Yeah, but there's silver.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's just say there's a little knife on the up near the head, so I cut myself on it.
I was gonna
And
say
I imbue
you can do
myself
any
with
of number
the
of
right of the coldness.
the coldness. He's got the coldness.
20, and then I streak off
He streaks.
in this pattern. And I go,
Oscar
"Scream!"
takes off all of his clothing and begins to streak.
Okay, whatever. I go.
Okay.
And
He does the full-on pig noises. Nice. Very
And
nice.
I streak up there and I charge at this man.
Okay, gotcha.
And I hit him. I'm gonna attempt to gore him.
Gonna gore him. So the last 10 feet, Oscar kind of like lowers his head and charges much like a boar would charge. And a 14 just hits.
Yeah. Attack. Be slashed by my boars
Beep,
and
beep.
roll a saving throw of strength. Your DC is 13.
Well, the werewolves are strong. That's like one of the only things they got going for them. So he's got a
Well,
plus 6. Ooh, 18.
Okay, well, it's fine. You don't. It doesn't matter.
He sees you like just at the last moment as you round Ashes, and you do gore him, but he catches your head, and like as your tusks are digging into his chest and pushing him back, right? Like he's kind of like holding down so he's not thrown back or thrown down by your charge.
All right. Well, as I shake away from his grasp, I try and bring my maul to the side of his face.
Nice.
A 23 will hit. Yeah, absolutely. Very nice.
And I previously enchanted this, so it does cold damage.
Hella. All right. So the maul cracks against the side of the werewolf's head. He kind of like yelps. He does that kind of like dog, kind of like wolf yelp, right? And it knocks him to the side. You see this little like poof, burst of like cold shards of ice blossom at the head of the hammer, or the maul, and he takes 7 damage from the maul and 2 from the cold. Very nice.
No.
No?
With this right's effect, attacks you make with this weapon are magical.
Nice. Okay, cool. He takes the full damage, so plus an additional 7. Oh, nope. Other direction. I added 7. I meant to subtract 7. Yatta!
As I arrive, I
Very cool.
snort and I look at Ashes and I say, "Stop trying to be a hero, Ashes."
Ah! Oh, I love it. That's great. Please take inspiration. That's a wonderful Oscar thing to do. Fuck yeah.
Does
Embodying
Oscar get-
your character. Huh?
Does Oscar get inspiration or does Bones get inspiration?
You know what? Does Bones already have inspiration?
I don't know. I can't find that sheet.
Dude, what do you
There it
mean you
is.
can't find that sheet?
I have a lot of sheets now.
God damn it.
I do already have inspiration.
Then Oscar gets inspiration.
All right, I'm noting it down. Oscar inspiration.
Gotcha. Alright.
Oscar-bration.
Whoopa! This guy is gonna... Yeah, he's gonna dash through here. It's fine. Okay. This guy's gonna roll up on Oscar, because Oscar just rolled up on his buddy. He's gonna roll up on Oscar. And he is going to... he did not have a held action, so he gets to make the full enchilada of attacks. He leaps forward. He does the quintessential werewolf jump in the air, where he swipes with both claws and diagonals. Right, so claw. Ooh,
Missed
big
it.
whiff on the first one. You know what? If he confirms the critical, he will miss the second attack. Okay.
Okay.
Did not confirm the
No.
critical. Hits the second
Okay,
attack. You take 4 slashing damage,
-4.
and then he leans forward to bite.
Miss.
13? Miss. Okay. Miss. That's his turn. He's done. And then we've got Valarkin kind of moves slower in the back. He does begin to move forward, but he doesn't charge into melee with anyone. He just kind of like walks forward, and as he does, you see he pulls out from behind him this the fuck? Did I not put that on the...
Even the DM is so surprised by what he's using. Oh God!
I'm so surprised. I didn't put the description of the thing in the actual thing. It's on my magic list, but not on my fucking whatchamacallit. So I gotta go check. Sorry. Un momento.
I guess you don't have it. Moving on.
No, not how that works.
He pulls out a chair of disintegration and mounts it.
No, not again.
This is Ash's nightmare. It's a chair of tentacles that make you do Constitution saving throws.
Damn.
That's fair.
Oh, it's a tentacle chair.
Tentacle.
It's a hentai chair.
It feels kind of good though.
Feels kind of good though.
Can I
What is
deliberately
this thing?
choose to fail?
You can always do that.
I choose to be taken by the chair.
Take me, chair.
I'm so
Oh,
embarrassed.
Chan.
Jesus.
I'm kind of glad I'm not listening to what's happening over there.
Oh. We're filling time
Oh,
while Jay is getting, or while Ash's is getting filled by tentacle.
it is. God, I had to freaking look it up. You see him pull out. It's hard to see what he's actually like drawing out initially, right? But because he just kind of like pulls out this haft about 2 feet in length or so. But you all hear the kind of like tinkling of chains, and then as he finishes fully like pulling out, you see the chain connected to the haft and the head of the flail that he begins to
Mm-mm.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
I like how I just mentioned a flail and immediately Jake's like, I got a half jump.
I want it.
All right.
Oh, you about to get it?
We are
I
back
mean,
to the
we
top
know
of the
how
round.
this ends. I'm just saying.
We're back to the top of the round, and we have entered into Ash's dream. Combat has been fully engaged in this dream memory of Ash's, unlike Ezra's dream, which had been kind of like this this cobbled together what could have been a memory, but was actually the words and the stories and the strange ideas of a cobbled together concept, right? This is actually a memory of Ashes. Ashes is reliving the past in this dream, but has an opportunity, though how much it matters in reality, has an opportunity to change what happened in the past, at least in this moment in the stream. We will find out if he succeeds when we come back from break. We will be back with more Dungeon of the Mad Mage in just a few minutes. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.